Welcome again to another sizzling episode of Fire Starters. Today I am with the bright and orange Rangers, Ranger Sandworm and Ranger Phoenix and Canine Phoenix. Ranger Sandworm, can you please tell us about the Rangers?
So, thanks so much for having us. It's really cool to be here with you. So let me start. What are Rangers? We're burners first. And we're a bunch of burners that volunteer our time as Rangers.
Yes.
Rangers started in 2007. Ranger Bob started us off. We are a bunch of people that have embodied the 11 principles, and we care for our community, we hold space, and we have superpowers like finding lost souls. We know where the best pancakes are, and really just a bunch of people that wear very bright orange and wander around Tankwa Town 24/7.
Ranger Sandworm, please tell us about your role in the portfolio and what Rangers Council do.
Sure. Ranger Council is a bunch of, I think there's about 5 or 6 of us. I've taken lead this year. I stand on the shoulders of some amazing predecessors like Android, Galago, Thermo, Viv, and a bunch of others. Ranger Bob, our founder, and really it's just making sure that Rangers are run well. We've got about 360 volunteers at any event across the range of functions and fire. And just making sure that we are able to care for our community, make sure the city's safe, and work with all the other departments. One of the biggest roles of the Rangers is being visible and having access to all the other departments. What do Rangers do? As Ranger Phoenix put in the Facebook post, we have the community expert gangster walk down. We are the bright orange folk that are really good at greeting. We are expert huggers. We know where the best pancakes are. We find lost souls. We find lost camps. And basically we hold space. We look after our community and embody the 11 principles. We make that place more sparkling. Run through what are we not? We are not going to tell you DJ lineups. We are not an authoritative body. We're not the police. We're not the security. We will create a space for burners to solve their own problems. We're not there to solve and take away from radical self-reliance or radical self-expression. Burners come to Africa Burn, and it's a big bucket list item. And they come to create whatever experience they are looking to create. We're not there to take that away. We're just there to make sure that everybody's aware of the 11 principles, and wherever we can, each one teach one.
Yeah, each one teach one. I love that. Phoenix! Woo-hoo. Please, as the representative of the next generation of Rangers and a PR person, tell us about your role in Rangers.
Okay, well, I suppose I can start from the beginning. I've been looking at ways to participate and volunteer at Africa Burn, and in my first few years I was kind of getting the lay of the land, helping out at the hack, volunteering here and there. I did a few ranger shifts, and one year I was also part of a art camp when we set up. I really found the Rangers to be an awesome group of people, and now I've become more and more involved with the Rangers. So as the PR person, I'm also just helping throughout the year to kind of build up a bit of awareness, spread the word, information, training days, all those type of things. So I'm just here to assist getting the PR of the Rangers out and about and getting word out about how cool we are. Set training dates before the burn in advance, so whenever you are free you can come join a training session. Usually it's on Saturdays here at the headquarters, but this year we've already had some in the Garden Route as well as in Johannesburg. So depending where you're based, you just keep a lookout for training dates and then you can join one. You do need to train to be a ranger before you can actually shift. So we focus a lot on the day dust ranger training, which is your kind of entry-level ranger training. And in those training sessions, we focus a lot on communication skills, problem-solving skills, how to take care of yourself first when you're out shifting on the dust and on the binnekrung, how to help other people at the burn. We get clear insights about how all the departments function together and collaboratively create Africa Burn, so that if we get asked to help somebody, we know who to call. So that's the
Wow.
overview of what we do
That
in training.
sounds like such a flaming session. It's about flame. What is flame?
Sure. So, Rangers are non-confrontational mediators, and we learn and teach a lot of techniques in training for dust rangers, for senior rangers, for Green Dot, who are also senior rangers and look after more escalated situations, participants that are overwhelmed, participants that are having a hard time at a particular point in time, which can be due to circumstances, emotional, psychological, or mind-altering substances. And we've got a technique called FLAME. You're going to have to come to Ranger training to know what FLAME stands for. But basically in training, we learn soft skills that we can apply not only at the burn, but we can apply across life. In our corporate, in our family life, which is probably sometimes a bit more challenging than the burn. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of practical demonstrations and participation in the training, and yeah, it's highly recommended for everybody. Most burners that you'll speak to, regardless of whether they shift as rangers or not, have said that attending ranger training has made them better burners, and we strongly recommend anybody that's running a theme camp to come and do ranger training.
Ranger Sandworm, Ranger Phoenix, ladies, Rangers, please tell us about the different or strange names that you guys have and the different functions, I guess, of those names.
Cool. So most of us have got a Ranger handle. We've got some beautiful Ranger handles that can range from Sandworm, and there's always a backstory, to Pink Jesus, who's got a hell of a backstory. But basically it's an identifier, it's an anonymous identifier over the radio, and we don't duplicate. So rangers are out in the field, they've got a radio, that's why you can get hold of them and hook up with any department that is a support service department. They radio back to that bright orange container on the binnacle. That's Ranger HQ, and the humans sitting inside there are called tortoises. Why tortoise? Tortoise is slow and steady, able to stay out in the sun, and the tortoise gets there in the end, not like the hare, right?
Yes.
So that's how Ranger Bob got the tortoise, and The tortoise is shift lead, gets in all those radio calls, works with the various leads. We've got a dust lead, we've got a green dot lead, we've got green dots, we've got dust rangers out there, and then there's of course Ranger 1, who's an overarching lead ranger on any shift. And that's basically us. On the ranger portfolio, then the other huge portfolio that we look after is all the burns. So at any time, any burner can ask a ranger when is certain artwork burning, and we can give you exactly the time to the closest ish. So the closest guess of ish is what we can give you. You can also ask us about wind speeds and wind directions. That stuff we can hook you up with. And the weather, it is very important. Why?
Important for fire, like with the humidity, how hot it gets, sparking fires, and we learned it in the fire training. Sorry.
I'll take you out. There's also a subset of the rangers that help out with the fire perimeters and making sure all the participants of the burn are kept a safe distance while the fire is taking place, when the burn is taking place. We work with the creators and installers of the artwork, as well as the fire department and a few other people to make sure that the fire perimeter is set up, all the participants know where they can stand and should not stand depending on the wind direction and the size of the burn really, because that has a big impact about the perimeter. And we have people standing right in front of the participants, making sure that there's a wide enough area around the fire so that nobody gets injured or hurt. We also have quartermasters, and we have sandmen as well, those people dressed up in the funny suits.
Okay.
No relation.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, so everybody's there just to basically keep everyone safe, make sure it's a pleasurable burn, and that we get the most out of it without any incidents.
Wow. It's actually sounding more and more fun to be a ranger, guys. You get to learn how to work with fire permutations, how to work with people, mediation, there's a lot you can learn just being a ranger. All that much fun, what is the best thing about being a ranger?
Goodness. For me, it's definitely the walkie-talkies, the radios. I always love playing on the radio, although you're not supposed to really use too much airtime. But I really like that aspect of it. It adds another level of the experience and excitement. Otherwise, being a ranger really involves about interacting with the community, interacting with the artworks. You get to go out there, chat to people that you wouldn't normally chat to, and have experiences that you would have otherwise not known about at all. So that's probably the magical part about being a ranger for me.
Did you say that?
I'm also all about that radio. I do a lot of tortoise shifts. I amp it up. I really like the radio. For me, it's being part of the transformation, being part of making sure the magic happens, meeting extraordinary people, and being part of a collective journey at Africa Bird. I feel very connected to the community and to other burners when I ranger, and I think when I'm not rangering, when I'm not on shift, I'm a better burner.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely, and I also get to see about every square meter of Africa Burn as I get around. So, I mean, it's super cool. And I visit all the theme camps. And we get so many hugs. I dig hugging. Yeah.
What time is it? Hug time.
Always hug time. Always hug time.
Rangers, please tell me what's with this sign.
What do you mean? DPW love us.
DPW
VW.
Woo! And we love Rangers! Okay, before we call it a day, ladies, thank you so very much. If you have a tip for us, one tip each, I like a hot tip. What would that tip be?
Stay hydrated and sleep a bit.
Awesome. Yes,
I
Ranger?
would say one burner, one shift. Volunteer your time. It gives you the greatest experience of all at Africa Burn.
Yay! One burner, one shift. Don't forget to sign up, signup.com. They have their rangersignup.com.
Yep.
You're able to do shifts at the volunteers, buy the maybe band with the volunteer booth. Thank you again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming.